Welcome to the third annual New York City Imagine Awards, the region's premier event designed to shine a spotlight on New York City's outstanding nonprofit organizations. We are so appreciative that you have joined us here tonight, whether in person or virtually, to recognize all the exceptional work that's happening in the nonprofit sector. This year, we have some exciting new developments. The introduction of a new category, the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Accessibility, or DEIA Award, sponsored by JPMorgan Chase, and our first ever diamond sponsor, Webster Bank. If you were at the event last year, you heard a surprise live announcement from Kathleen Stanley, Executive Managing Director, Commercial Banking at Webster Bank, that they would increase their level of support to our diamond sponsors. This means that Webster Bank will present each of our 24 finalists tonight with an additional $1,000 to help them achieve their missions. I'm not typically a fan of surprises, but let me tell you, that was the best surprise ever.
Surprise again.
Whoa, what are you doing here?
Webster supports a wide range of nonprofit agencies throughout our footprint, and as longtime supporters of the Imagine Awards, we saw the Diamond sponsorship as a fantastic opportunity to offer additional funding to the finalists. Philanthropy and helping our communities are at the heart of Webster's values. We are thrilled to be the first ever Diamond sponsor for the New York City Imagine Awards.
Kathleen, all I can say is thank you very much. This means so much to everyone. We are especially grateful to you and the rest of our sponsors, our committee, the judges, our finalists, and all of you who are here tonight to celebrate with us.
We are so honored to say thank you to the nonprofit community through an event like this. They work tirelessly to provide essential services to those who need it most. It's a special night to highlight their good work.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Nearly 250 applications were submitted for the 2023 Imagine Awards. Of those, the 24 finalists you will be meeting tonight represent some of the best New York City and the boroughs have to offer. The winners of the 6 categories, Arts and Culture, Rising Star, Leadership, DEIA, Innovation, and Social Impact will be announced live tonight. Let me share a little thing with you here. See the guy on stage over there? Yeah, over there. He's really nervous about being here tonight. I know he doesn't look nervous, but he's super nervous. He's afraid he's gonna mess up. He's afraid he's gonna say something inappropriate, which he does a lot. He's also afraid that you guys aren't gonna have a good time. So when he comes up on stage, let's give him a big round of applause. How about that?
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Everybody excited to be here tonight? I love the Imagine Awards, and I especially love being here in New York City for this event. Last year was the first time we ever had it here, and this is such a cool venue, isn't it? Yeah. So it's great to see so many people here tonight to support the New York City nonprofit community. The nonprofit community is so important, and it is awesome that we have this opportunity to come together to network, celebrate, and learn from each other. Please take the opportunity tonight to meet some new people, develop collaborations, and bond with each other. Now for the main reason we're here tonight, the awards. It all started with over 250 applicants. Of those, the 24 finalists in the room tonight represent some of the best that New York City has to offer. The winners of the 6 categories, as I mentioned before, Arts and Culture, Rising Star, Innovation, Leadership, Social Impact, and DEIA, are going to be announced live tonight. I would like to thank our major sponsors for their generosity, our diamond sponsor, Webster Bank, who made possible $1,000 checks for each of our finalists. Our platinum sponsors, Aetna Better Health, Alliant Insurance Services, my partners at Serini & Associates, the Claire Friedlander Family Foundation, Flagstar Bank, JPMorgan Chase, and One Group. I want to give special thanks to the committee who's worked hard and dedicated to help make today possible. Can the committee please stand up a second? I can't see anybody, but they spend so many hours reading through applications, interviewing the semifinalists, and ultimately making tonight super possible. They're really the board and the heart behind everything that we do here, so thank you guys. I also want to thank our judges. Judges want to stand up? They're all sitting at one table. Our judges had the unenviable task of taking the 42 semifinalists and breaking them down to the 24 finalists that are being recognized here tonight, and ultimately picking the 6 winners. So if you're not happy with the 6 winners, it wasn't me, it was the judges. So. She said, stand up again. And finally, we want to thank the nonprofit sector for doing everything it does on a daily basis, making a difference in the lives of so many. Think about what the fabric of New York City would be without the nonprofit sector. And then finally, I'd like to thank my team at Serena Associates, Christina and my daughter Kellyanne, who worked super hard, and also Hillary Needle from Hillary Needle Events. They do all the work behind the scenes to actually make tonight possible. And finally, I want to thank all of you, because I'd look pretty silly standing up here if you guys weren't here. And I also want to thank who is participating in our simulcast on tonight's event. For those tuning in remotely, do I look fatter? They say TV adds 10 pounds, so I'm just curious to know. Speaking of TV, I'm pleased to announce and introduce tonight's MC, Channel 7 Eyewitness News reporter, Sonia Racone, to help get the program started. Thank you and enjoy the event.
Thank you, Ken. I'm so happy to return as your MC for the 3rd annual New York City Imagine Awards. As a reporter in New York City, it's my responsibility to help people understand what's going on in their communities. Sometimes that means explaining need, inequity, injustice, and it's refreshing to encounter those of you in the nonprofit community who recognize inequity, injustice, and need, and find incredibly creative and innovative strategies to help. You're looking at your community, you're informing yourself, you're tapping into your humanity and finding tools to make this part of the world, New York City, better and a better place for the future. We love to tell those stories, and we know that our audience loves and needs to hear them. So I'm so proud to be part of the Imagine Awards, which showcases the important missions of 24 of New York's most unique and deserving nonprofit organizations. Through the generosity of its sponsors and supporters, the Imagine Awards will put nearly $60,000 in the hands of nonprofit organizations tonight. As Ken mentioned, Webster Bank has made it possible to provide an additional $1,000 to each finalist organization. Thank you, Webster Bank. Special and sincere thanks to the companies who chose to support the Imagine Awards this year as corporate sponsors. We couldn't do all of this without you, and we want to welcome and thank our sponsors who have stepped up in helping to spotlight the amazing work happening in the nonprofit sector. We know that you understand how impactful this platform is and how much good it does for so many people. As Ken said, the 24 finalist organizations are all winners. As finalists, each organization was awarded a video shoot that captured the essence of their organizations that we will show after the nominees in each category are read. Special thanks to Michael Sorrentino, Wade Shields, Liz Weaver, Jesse Vandenberg, and Christy Chesney at Sorrentino Media, who did a great job producing and coordinating the videos. And this is really cool. These videos are the property of the finalists to use on their websites and in their advertising, courtesy of the New York City Imagine Awards. I love that. I just want to remind everyone to please take a look at the Journal for details about the event, finalist organizations, and sponsors. So now, let's see who's taking home the trophies, the prize money, and of course, the bragging rights this year. And we know this is not why you do this, but this is so important to recognize you all. It is my pleasure to introduce Courtney Klein and Kelly Klein to present the Claire Friedlander Family Foundation Arts and Culture category, which recognizes the tremendous contributions of arts and cultural organizations to New York City and the boroughs.
I'm Courtney Klein, and my sister Kelly Klein and I are board members of the Claire Friedlander Family Foundation. The foundation's namesake, Claire Friedlander, was a family friend and Holocaust survivor whose legacy we are proud to steward. Claire liked helping New York and New Yorkers, and she loved the arts. She's the one who introduced us to the arts and encouraged our involvement in both ballet and piano.
We are proud to sponsor the Imagine Awards Arts and Culture category because our founder also had a true appreciation of all things artistic and understood that creative expression is essential for the survival of the human spirit. Sustaining and supporting the arts benefits us all.
This award is available to any arts and/or cultural organization that has had a significant impact in New York City and its surrounding boroughs. This includes organizations that have had a significant measurable impact on their community, developed new and/or innovative programming, developed effective fee-generating programs, or have demonstrated outstanding achievement in their artistic and/or cultural field.
We are pleased to present the finalists for the Claire Friedlander Family Foundation Arts and Culture Award. Children's Museum of the Arts, Concerts in Motion, the Center for Fiction, the National Jazz Museum in Harlem.
Children's Museum of the Arts is not your average children's museum. There's no jungle gym or slime. We were born out of an artist studio in Soho, and for the last 35 years, we've celebrated children as real artists with meaningful ideas to contribute. There's a larger crisis of arts education in New York City. Typically, schools where families make a higher income are the ones that have the more robust arts programming. So part of the mission of the Children's Museum of the Arts is to bring arts education to communities directly. We connect real artists from the community with young artists with the belief that we each have something to learn from one another. As we like to say, great artists make artists. And for an artist like me, that means exploring a creative practice together and sharing our art with the world. At one of our events, one of the kids afterward gave me a little note that said, "I love you so much." That appreciation is so meaningful and so sweet. As kids, we all naturally make things. As you get older, sometimes it just falls away. Part of the work that the Children's Museum of the Arts does is to foster and maintain your connection with art into adulthood. Art is for everyone, and everyone should have access to arts education.
Concerts in Motion is dedicated to bringing live, world-class music to older adults who are socially isolated and alone. We partner with 200 agencies and serve over 35,000 older adults annually. Our musicians, professional and student, play 16 genres of music and speak 19 languages, and are trained in the latest care approach to ensure that every concert brings community and connection.
We never know where the day is going to take us, but we know it's going to be filled with joy for that 1 hour. I'll do a song, and then we have what's called an intermission, which allows the audience members to participate, to give a comment on the song they just heard and what it meant to them.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved.
I'm a lover of life, so I love to go off the stage into the audience and just reach out to folks. And I'm telling you, even for people who are nonverbal, I get them to sing along, be a participant. It makes me want to cry when it happens, because what it does is it tells them, you see me.
I see.
The Center for Fiction welcomes readers and writers to a multifaceted organization, home to a 200-year-old library, a writer studio, bookstore, and cafe. Our year-long Emerging Writer Fellowship program provides 9 talented New York City-based early career writers with a grant of $5,000 and critical resources that introduce and advance the fellows into the publishing industry. They do not have book deals. They may not have agents. Recently, one of my fellows who's been talking to me a lot about querying agents, finally has an agent and is one of the best agents in the industry. And now they're about to go out on submission, and that really warms my heart, because when she came in, these were resources that she needed, information that she didn't have, and now she has it. If you're a writer, no matter what stage you're at in your writing career, there's a space for you. If you're a reader, no matter what stage of reading you're at, there's resources for you, and there's opportunities for you to be a part of a community. All of the social issues we're dealing with, political issues, environmental issues, I think that the arts do a great job of meeting people where they may not understand and give people a language to articulate their feelings.
The National Jazz Museum in Harlem brings us into contact with artists from every cultural expression. We work with fashion designers, fine artists, musicians, chefs, business owners, to find those places where jazz has influenced or they have been influenced by jazz. We work really hard to tell stories through our events and through our workshops. So at any given moment, you might walk into 60 students learning about jazz for the very first time, or you might walk into a jazz legend who is performing, or you may walk into a new and emerging artist who you've never heard of before. We deliberately explore jazz through the LGBTQ experience, or jazz through James Baldwin. We talk about racial justice, we talk about civil rights, anything that we can think of to bring in new audiences and tell the fullest possible story of jazz is a risk that we're willing to take to preserve and to expand the history of jazz. Once you've been to the museum for the very first time, you're home. So welcome home, and we're waiting for you.
Thank you. Good evening. We're so excited to be here for the third year and super excited to be presenting this award to such amazing finalists. Without further ado, the winner is,
The Center for Fiction.
They gave me the little check instead of the big check, which we really appreciate. Oh, I get that one too. Well, first I want to start by thanking Randy Winston, who you saw in our video. He's our Director of Writing Programs and just represented the center. Great. Thank you, Randy. He's here with me tonight. So with joy and so much enthusiasm, I stand here tonight on behalf of the Center for Fiction. Thank you to the Imagine Awards for this generous grant and endorsement of our work, especially in this room in front of our peers in the nonprofit industry and so many wonderful businesses who think that our work is important as a group. So as you saw, the Center for Fiction is devoted to celebrating and nurturing storytelling. We've been doing this work for over 2 centuries, and our work fosters a love of reading and writing and supports emerging writers and provides a space where storytellers can find inspiration and connection. So the Imagine Awards recognition of our work validates our ongoing efforts through public events, fellowships and awards, and our public school outreach program, which is our Kids Write, Kids Read program. So in a city as diverse and dynamic as New York, it is essential to have platforms like the Imagine Awards that bring together organizations and individuals who share a common goal: to make this city a more vibrant, inclusive, and culturally rich place. It is a privilege to be part of this endeavor and community and share in this vision of New York. So Thank you for this grant, for making this evening possible, and we pledge to use the support to ensure that it benefits not only our organization, but all the individuals who will be touched by the power of reading and writing. So, thank you.
Congratulations to the Center for Fiction for their amazing work. And hats off to all the other nominees. Truly inspiring. Our second award for the night is the Aetna Better Health Rising Star Award. This award recognizes a nonprofit that makes a profound impact with its programs and services, but does so with a much smaller budget.
Hi, I'm Kevin Nelson, Chief Executive Officer of Aetna Better Health of New York, and we are proud sponsors of the New York City Imagine Rising Star Award. You may have heard the expression, small but mighty. This is what it means to be a finalist in the Rising Star category. These determined nonprofits advance to the finalist round because they exemplify what it means for a nonprofit to effectively execute their missions with significant impact, in spite of limited financial or staffing resources. These resilient finalist organizations have an intense dedication, creativity, and an ultimate purpose to better the lives of others. The Aetna Rising Star Award recognizes a nonprofit generating under $5 million in revenue for its outstanding innovation, impact, and achievements in meeting its mission. The award will be given to an organization who demonstrates an outstanding record of sustained achievement, has demonstrated successful financial performance, and has built a reputation for excellence within the community. The finalists are Day One, Emma's Torch, Hearts to Homes Furnishings, and Suit Up.
Day One dedicates all of its resources to partnering with young people to end dating abuse and domestic violence. A lot of services that focus on domestic violence are geared towards adult survivors. I did realize that there was nothing geared specifically to our young people. We do workshops in the community, and we've seen well over 15,000 young people from K through college age. The use of our preventive workshops is really what raises the awareness of this cause and this work. And also teaching young people is really what's going to bring them into spaces with their peers to also have these conversations about healthy relationships. We genuinely bring young people in to all of our spaces so that they're helping us have this youth first approach to our work.
To be a part of the Youth Advisory Board, we advise the organization on how to really impact the youth and how to improve outreach. Sometimes when things come from adults, it may not be in the most ideal way for us. So through things like workshops, on lives, Instagram posts, we're really able to have that connection and be able to make the information and services more digestible and accessible to the youth. It's easier to help people when you feel safe to make them feel safe too. So I feel like that was definitely a big part of Day One, and I really felt the love and the safety.
"140 years ago, Emma Lazarus penned the words on the base of the Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Today and every day, we at Emma's Torch try to realize that aspiration. I'm Carrie Brody, the founder of Emma's Torch, a nonprofit cafe and catering business that provides culinary training and job placement services to refugees coming to America. Emma's Torch has really always been the little engine that could. The first day we opened our doors, I was working as the barista, my husband was the dishwasher, my friend was outside trying to bring guests in, and the fact that the same community of people has just grown over time, I think it's such a testament to what we can do together. So much of Emma's Torch has been a dream come true for our students, for our community, and for me personally. We had one student who didn't even apply. He was a refugee from Syria, and his sister applied for him as her birthday gift for him. And he told us on day one, I'm gonna open a restaurant one day. And last week, our current students, cohort 45, went on a visit to see his restaurant and to see what he had accomplished and built in Brooklyn, what it means when a child comes in to watch their mom graduate for the first time ever. That smile that a student gives us when they tell us that this is their very first paycheck they have ever received. That is something that cannot be captured in words or even in pictures, but it's the real magic.
Hearts to Homes Furnishings offers 80 essential home furnishings to young adults who are aging out of foster care in New York City. Our growth has been really grassroots. The first year we furnished 6 apartments, and the second year we furnished 12 apartments. When it was suggested to me that I could try and expand this program to more youth, the first thing that we did was be introduced to a second foster care agency. They had the perfect candidate. That person is now a very valued member of the Hearts to Homes Board. He is also a candidate for a PhD in criminal justice. His name is Jeremiah Perez Torres.
My time in the foster care system was really tough. One of the biggest takeaways that I've learned from being on both sides of the system is how to demand what we need. It feels very empowering to be able to now support other youth who are aging out of the system.
It's never about how I feel. It's really about what the result would be if our services weren't available. And we know that far too many young adults age out of foster care in New York City and wind up sleeping on a mattress on a floor in an empty apartment. And that is not acceptable to us.
SuitUp empowers students to be CEOs in business simulations. With partners like Amazon, Salesforce, and Santander, employees coach students and prepare them to pitch for cash prizes. The typical SuitUp competition is a child solving a problem for a real company or organization. And they pitch it to real business judges, which is our corporate volunteers and oftentimes the executives. And the winning team gets real money, like the real world. One of my favorite parts of this is that the child and student that normally doesn't respond well to traditional classroom learning and is tougher to get to engage, many times gets really excited about this because there's new energy, there's a prize at the end, and it feels real and tangible to them. So the program is really powerful. The future is letting these companies legitimately hire these students as adults when they get out of college, when they get out of high school. What SuitUp's building is the opportunity in the pipeline to take talented kids from non-traditional backgrounds and lower income communities and saying to them, hey, this is what you can be someday, and then giving them the resources to accelerate their ability and their chances of getting there. We envision a world where all companies have an executive that can call themselves a SuitUp alum. Are you ready to suit up?
Unfortunately, Kevin Nelson wasn't able to make it today, so I'm going to announce the winner. So for looking at the fact that these are some smaller agencies, for some smaller agencies, they clearly have a huge, huge impact. And the winner is Emma's Torch.
Agency and short executive director. This is heavy. And I have to be honest, this week, standing before all of you with an organization named Emma's Torch, that torch is heavy. It is iron, it is cast in stone, it is weighted down by hatred and violence, and the only thing that lifts it up is each of you in this room, each of the students who come through the adversity and never for a second doubt in the promise that Emma Lazarus promised them, that each of us promises them, that each of us made real for the daughter of immigrants, for the great-grandchild of Holocaust survivors, for the person who is honored to work with you all in ensuring that our city, our community, works for all of us. And maybe that is the antidote to the heaviness. Maybe together we can lift up each of these incredible organizations that I'm so inspired to be in community with. So thank you all so much. This means the world to every single one of our students, and for the many, many students to come whose futures are maybe just a tiny bit lighter as we move into the future. So thank you.
Wow, congratulations once again to Emma's torch. Next up, we have the Alliant Leadership Excellence Award, and presenting it is John Cunningham. This award recognizes nonprofit leaders who not only advocate for their missions, but consistently operate in a way that is innovative and impactful. This nonprofit leader is a change maker, not only within his or her organization, but for the community as a whole.
Hi, I'm John Cunningham, Executive Vice President of Alliant Insurance Services. Leaders in the not-for-profit sector are a special group of individuals who dedicate themselves as professionals through volunteer service to fulfilling an organization's mission. How they do this with often limited staff, shrinking budget lines, and unforeseen daily challenges is simply awe-inspiring. We are proud to sponsor the Leadership Excellence Award and offer our deepest gratitude and appreciation to these leaders for going above and beyond every day, not just during these times. The Alliant Leadership Excellence Award recognizes an exemplary nonprofit leader who may be an executive director, board member, staff member, or volunteer, whose accomplishments have advanced his or her organization, as well as had a profound impact on the community as a whole. Aside from being an innovative thinker, an individual who operates with impact, strives to drive social change, this leader must be a fierce advocate for their organization and its mission. The 2023 Imagine Award Leadership Excellence finalists exemplify these qualities. Association to Benefit Children, Gretchen Buchenholz, Executive Director. Exalt, Giselle Castro, Executive Director. Rocking the Boat, Adam Green, Executive Director. Scott J. Beagle Memorial Fund, Linda Beagle Schulman, Founder.
I'm Gretchen Buchenholz, co-founder and executive director of the Association to Benefit Children, or ABC. ABC began as a groundbreaking inclusionary preschool in 1973, growing into an impactful, mission-driven organization that champions all children. Every day, I try to get down on the floor with a child so I can hear what he or she is saying, so that I can listen to their voices and try to make them louder so that those voices are heard in the places where people who have power can serve them.
To have been advocating for children for 50 years, sometimes that means taking an unpopular stance, but Gretchen's always had the hopes and dreams of the kids in her heart. So I think that's a real element of leadership that I've been inspired by and hope to take on in the future.
I enjoy the opportunity to play with children and learn with them. Youth may think you're leading them, but every child is a leader.
Exalt works with court-involved youth to elevate their personal expectations, to avoid the criminal justice system and achieve academic advancement and enter the workforce. You can't do this work alone. The organization fundamentally operates on one important tenet, which is to humanize our young people. And I do believe, that sense of hope is one that is really palpable, but one that you feel when you walk in.
Anytime I decide to join a board, I look at its leadership. Leadership is key to me. When Giselle succeeds, the group succeeds. She's able to communicate from the parent to the judge. She is constantly learning, and she's constantly encouraging her team and her board to learn as well. You have to experience joy at the same time that you're working hard, and she gets that. And they're not binary. Joy and struggle can coexist.
I do believe that the youngest generation will begin to transform our system, which will not be one to rehabilitate, but will be one to innovate.
I'm Adam Green, the founder and executive director of Rocking the Boat. The spark came when I built a boat with 8 students in an East Harlem junior high school and shared every ounce of their elation when it floated in the basement swimming pool. Building boats is simply a very effective medium for youth development, teaching fundamental life skills like teamwork, problem solving, communication. One of the most important aspects of leadership is finding the balance between giving people clear expectations and goals to work toward, but then allowing them to figure out how to get there on their own. There's no reason you should know anything. Just be confident enough to admit to not knowing and ask lots of questions. That kind of invitation to be vulnerable and to say, I don't know how to do this, help me learn, is something we could all be doing more of, and I think we do a pretty good job of Rocking the Boat. When a teacher asks, who has questions? Most of the kids in the class do not raise their hands, even though they all probably have questions. It's the most confident ones who are able to ask those questions. And so much of our work is about supporting young people and building that confidence so that they aren't afraid to raise their hands or to have a dream about something that they might never have otherwise thought possible.
My name is Linda Beagle-Schulman. I established the Scott J. Beagle Memorial Fund 2 days after my son Scott was murdered in the shooting in Parkland, Florida. The mission of the fund is to send at-risk, underserved children touched by gun violence to summer sleepaway camp, giving them hope and combining Scott's love of camp with his love for children. The first year, we sent 54 children to summer sleepaway camp. And last year, we sent 262 children to summer sleepaway camp. And it is pretty amazing where we are today. I'm actually doing what my son did. He gave of himself, and he just wanted to make children feel better about themselves. Every child that we send to camp has a piece of Scott's heart in them. There's no doubt in my mind. These children are so happy to be in camp. They learn to trust. They learn to make friends. The first camp we went up to, there was this monarch butterfly that flew around. And almost every time we've gone to a camp, there's been a butterfly. I believe it's Scott just saying, Mom, keep going, you're doing right. No matter what, Mom, keep going. And you know what? I'm gonna keep going, Scott.
Thank you. This is Beth McLeod and Max Dendler and John Cunningham as part of Alliant. We're super honored to be part of this organization on the awards side. And we're inspired every day when we get a chance to hear all the not-for-profits and what they do here for the community, so it's nice. I will say that Sabir, he was checking for me because last year I wore the same shirt and tie on the video. And I saw the white shirt and the tie, and I'm like, oh man, did I do it again? But he confirmed, no, I was okay. All right, so, all right, here we go. And the winner, Exalt.
Oh my goodness, good evening, everyone. Ken just said that he just gave me the little check. It's not a little check. You know what this is? You just heard a big round of applause. I represent young people who have been impacted by the criminal justice system, juvenile justice system. Young people who at one point on paper probably had the worst circumstance. As we ask them a question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Many of them say dead or incarcerated. And our young people at the point of entry are jail bound, and many of them at this point are college bound. Today, the honor, we're over at table 32. I give it to Josiah, and he is one of our most newest graduates at Exalt. And I'm going to wrap up very quickly because the leadership and the passion comes about keeping New York City thriving, but creating justice in a way that is very collaborative. To free a young person, think about this. It requires a judge, a DA, a school official, our board members who are here, our staff who are here, so that a young person like a Josiah has an opportunity to think through. We have dinner at the point in time that they graduate, and I walked into graduation and Josiah was so impressed. It's the first time that he walks into a space like this one. So when I believe that anything is indeed possible, I would say to New York and Long Island, who is here with us today, let's rise up and let's make magic happen. Thank you so much.
Congrats to Exalt, and what an incredible example of leadership. The Imagine Awards recognizes the importance of diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, DEIA, within nonprofit organizations and their programming. We're pleased to include this category for 2023 and thank JP Morgan Chase for sponsoring the DEIA Award. Jason Patton, Managing Director, Northeast Head of Community Banking, will present.
I'm Jason Patton, Managing Director and Northeast Head of Community Banking for JP Morgan Chase. While Chase is one of the most recognized banks in the country, not everyone knows about our commitment to community. The team that I help lead is on a mission to change that. Our focus is to expand access to banking and financial help tools and resources for communities of color, which is why it's important for us to sponsor the new JP Morgan Chase Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Accessibility Award, or DEIA. This award recognizes an organization prioritizing DEIA within its mission or within its operations. It recognizes organizations that deepen and expand their impact and build this critically important work into program design and delivery, staff recruitment and engagement, leadership development and excellence, volunteerism, and donor engagement. The finalists in the DEIA category target their missions and outreach to respond to the intense need for DEIA programming to best serve New York City, the boroughs, and its diverse communities. These nonprofits have proven that addressing DEIA issues is a primary focus, not only demonstrated through their services and programs, but deeply woven into their organizational culture. We celebrate you here. The finalists for the NYC Imagine Awards, JP Morgan Chase DEIA Awards are Birch Family Services, Center for Employment Opportunities, or CEO, Extreme Kids and Crew, and Impactability.
Birch Family Services empowers people with autism and other developmental disabilities to lead fulfilling lives through quality education, residential, employment, and community services. Of the disability community, autism has the lowest employment rates, especially those who have language challenges. We have a strategic plan for our New Frontier program. It starts when they're young adults and kicks them off into adulthood to reach their goals and go off into the world so they could be a productive member of society. Right now, there's about 35 people in the program. The hope is to grow it over the next 4 years to be serving about 250 people. Giving those people a seat at the table is a big priority for Birch Family Services. Through our corporate advisory network, we invite our business partners to explore the benefits of hiring neurodiverse candidates, a practice we also follow. We don't make decisions for the people we serve. We work with them and their families to make sure whatever services they're getting, they understand them, they want them, and how they receive those services is something that makes sense to them. We believe in creating equitable outcomes for people through our person-centered approach. We have a very diverse workforce, and the people that we serve just really represents the community that we live in.
At the Center for Employment Opportunities, also known as CEO, we believe in the power of building a more equitable future for all. Our mission is to dismantle systemic barriers and create opportunities for those recently released from incarceration.
With 31 locations nationwide, CEO prepares justice-impacted individuals with the support and resources needed to find a sustainable career and achieve social and economic mobility. On a yearly basis, we are enrolling close to 1,500 New Yorkers. Out of that, we are making around 600 job placements. Our commitment to diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility is reflective in our innovative programming, which includes a DEI training series, an Emerging Leaders program that extends full-time paid internships to people in reentry, our inclusive hiring practices, and our employee-led affinity groups.
I initially started out as a participant, but now I work for CEO as an outreach specialist. My favorite part about my job would probably be the interaction that I have with the youth. It's fulfilling to know that I did my job to the fullest capacity.
Extreme Kids and Crew is a community that believes in the power of acceptance, inclusivity, and the celebration of individuality. Oftentimes our kids come to us and they're used to being isolated or they're really shy, and then all of a sudden they're in a rock band and they're on a stage and they're making music. We're not necessarily sitting down and saying, we're going to teach you how to be more socially interactive, but we're demonstrating it through play, the importance of being social and being emotional.
At Extreme Kids and Crew, there's a great sense of pride on crafting and cultivating really good programs where kids can have fun and be themselves, be silly, be emotional, and we welcome all of those feelings, and we try to do our best not to make anyone feel like those things aren't possible in our spaces.
This summer, we had interns. One of them was an autistic girl. One of the questions we asked her was, how do you handle a situation with a child that needs to be redirected? Without hesitation, she said, I ask them what they want and then I give it to them. She said, there are so many people that don't understand autistic children, and all they want to do is explain to us how bad our behavior was. But if they just asked us why we do something, we would tell you. As she knew from her lived experience that she was able to share that, and that just really made a difference for all of us.
Impactability is an all-volunteer community of disability advocates and partners. We serve college students with visible and invisible disabilities at CUNY, the nation's largest urban public university system. We're certified by the National Disability Mentoring Coalition. I have family members who started college who are living with disabilities but could not complete college. And I always felt that, maybe if they had had a mentor, maybe that could have helped. And that was my inspiration to found the nonprofit. There's absolutely a need for mentoring and career readiness because only 1 out of 4 college students with disabilities will actually attain a job once they graduate from a 4-year college.
Career Ready online program equips college students with disabilities with self-advocacy tools and resources for successful job searches that will ultimately change lives. We try to match students and mentors based on, for example, their majors, their interests. Every time I do the program, it's different because the students are different.
My mantra is, it's all about the students and nobody does it alone.
How can you leave here tonight anything less than motivated and inspired by the collective heart, the collective courage, the collective spirit of service that's in this room? My name is Jason Patton. This is Wendy Velasquez and Nicole King, and we are honored tonight to present the first ever JP Morgan Chase DEIA Award to CEO, Center for Employment Opportunities.
Okay, so we were not prepared for this. I want to just thank the Image Awards for the opportunity to really uplift the work that we're doing at CEO. You know, we are working to create pathways out of poverty for individuals coming home from incarceration, and we believe that everyone who wants to work should have the support and training to get them into a job that, you know, they can provide for their families. You know, to provide for their families and to, you know, that lead to great jobs with economic mobility. So thank you for the opportunity of sharing the work that we do at CEO, and to all the other nonprofits that are doing amazing work. You know, kudos to you, because we're the ones that make New York run.
Hey everyone, before we break for dinner and networking, we got one more piece of business. I would like to once again recognize and thank our first ever diamond sponsor, Webster Bank. It is my pleasure to welcome Kathleen Stanley, Executive Managing Director, Commercial Banking at Webster Bank, to the stage to say a few words, and more importantly, to distribute the $1,000 checks to the 24 finalists in the room. So, Kathleen.
Good evening. Thank you, Ken. I know we covered this in the video introduction, but on behalf of Webster Bank and all my colleagues here tonight, we just wanted to acknowledge what an important event the Imagine Awards is for New York City, and how proud we are at Webster Bank to be able to contribute additional funds to the outstanding organizations here tonight. You are all winners. If one representative from each finalist organization can meet us off stage when we break for dinner, we would love to personally meet you and present each of you with a $1,000 check and take a photo. And at this time, because Webster is so dedicated to the community, we would like to again extend our platinum sponsorship for 2024. Diamond, diamond, diamond! And I'd also ask John Murphy and Kathy Boyle to come up and help me distribute the checks. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, so the finalists, if the finalists can meet over there at the break. So we're gonna take a 45-minute break to eat dinner. So take a chance to go out there, meet some new people. Just a couple things for the winners at the end of the night. I know some of you like to get out of here early, but at the end of the night, we'd like to get one final photo with all of the winners. And we don't always seem to make that happen. So if all the winners or someone from each of the winning organizations can kind of stick around to give us the opportunity to take the photo, we'd totally appreciate that. And for everybody who's watching this virtually, grab some food, enjoy last year's highlights, and we'll be back in 45 minutes. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Hopefully you all enjoyed our dinner and you got to meet some of the amazing people in the room here with us. Those videos that we're seeing are so artfully done, and I wanted to shout out Sorrentino Media once again for making those incredible videos. You know, it's one thing to read about the work and the missions of these organizations, which I encourage you to do. Hang on to those programs and read about your fellow nonprofits. But it's another to hear and to see the passion and the compassion of the people who do the work and see some of the examples of that work. The photo montages with the images of what all their missions are all about, and hearing in their own words how they brought their ideas to life. And I'm sure there's some words and some images that stuck in your mind from those videos, and that's what they're for. If you're a finalist, check your email inboxes in the next day or two for those videos, and they're yours to keep to do whatever you like with and to spread the word about your work. And yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And if you'd like to spread the word about each other's work and to help promote each other, you'll be able to see all of the videos at nycimagineawards.com in the next few days. So check back and help spread each other's incredible messages. So now I'm proud to introduce Gabrielle Stern, who's the Group Director, Senior Vice President at Flagstar Bank, and she will present the Flagstar Bank Fan Favorite Award.
Thank you, everybody. I am honored to be asked to present the Flagstar Bank Fan Favorite Award. All the finalists were eligible to win with public voting taking place online. And I was just told before I came up here to present, this year was record-breaking in the amount of votes that they've received in the 11-year history. The finalists with the most votes will win 3,000 Fan Favorite Awards. It was actually a record-breaking 48,295 votes that were cast. The 4 organizations with the most votes were Hearts to Home Furnishings, Impactability, Inc., the Scott J. Beagle Memorial Fund, and Suit Up, Incorporated. And I'm very pleased to say the Scott J. Beagle Memorial Fund.
I know I'm supposed to stand up here and be really ladylike and, demure and like the rest of the people who spoke, but this is amazing! Thank you! And I have to thank the Imagine Awards because how many people here ever heard of the Scott J. Beagle Memorial Fund before tonight? Not many, but when I leave here tonight, I know that everybody here, because of the Imagine Awards, knows about the Scott J. Beagle Memorial Fund. Thank you so much. I love you all. And everyone who voted for us and continued to vote, thank you so much. I can now send 2 more children to summer sleepaway camp. Thank you.
Congratulations, you guys are amazing. And the fans have spoken. Nice job. Next up, we have the One Group Innovation Award, which rewards an organization for using creativity and ingenuity to meet a programming need, operational challenge, or fundraising campaign. Presenting the award tonight is Josephine Bautista, President, Greater New York One Group, and I hope I said your name right.
I'm Pierre Morisseau, Chief Executive Officer of One Group. We are very proud to sponsor the One Group Award for Innovation, which recognizes an organization for implementing strategies to advance their missions that are creative, forward-thinking, and often cutting edge. Sometimes these initiatives haven't been tried before, and they carry a certain amount of risk for the organization. We at One Group understand a thing or two about risk. By adopting new programs, approaching an issue with a novel idea, or simply challenging the "that's the way we've always done it" mentality, these finalists embrace the innovative spirit to move their missions forward. Whether operational, programmatic, or for fundraising, these organizations have embraced the challenge of making something out of nothing and spinning it to their advantage. The finalists in the innovation category are EB Research Partnership, Hear Your Song, Snug Harbor Cultural Center and Botanical Garden, VIP Community Services.
EB Research Partnership has one bold goal: to cure epidermolysis bullosa, or EB for short, by 2030. EB is a group of life-threatening skin disorders. Called butterfly children because their skin is as fragile as the wings of a butterfly, EB patients face severe pain from wounds that may never heal. Today, there is no cure, but EBRP is dedicated to changing that. EBRP utilizes an innovative business model of venture philanthropy. We didn't invent venture philanthropy by any means. We do think that we've perfected it. And we say that because we are the only nonprofit organization out there that uses this model with every single dollar that goes out the door. 2023 saw the first ever FDA-approved treatment for EB, which EBRP funded directly under our model and saw an ROI of over 110%. Last year was actually a record-breaking year for the organization, so I was really proud and excited to be a part of that. We funded just over $6.6 million in research projects that went to 19 really innovative and promising research projects all around the world, 6 different countries. Now that patients we're hearing are actually receiving the treatment, it's a whole new wave of inspiration and motivation. We believe that a cure is achievable by 2030.
Hi, how are you? I'm a 9-year-old, diagnosed with cancer at 8 years old. But I'm proud to say I won't let it get me down.
Hear Your Song empowers youth living with serious illnesses and complex health needs to make their voices heard through collaborative songwriting. It's not just write a song and then thumbs up, great job, but really how can we build a years-long relationship with your family where you feel like you're part of a community that's always growing and changing. What we're trying to do is create a space that's completely driven by what kids want to be putting out into the world, what kinds of experiences kids want to have.
I love letting people know that they're not alone. There's other people going through hard stuff, and you don't have to feel alone because there's other people fighting by your side. Even though on the outside it is really hard, on the inside we have a burning heart like the heart of a warrior. Stay strong, you know you belong. Be when no one knows. You shine brighter than the sun itself.
Snug Harbor Cultural Center and Botanical Garden is an 83-acre urban oasis on Staten Island, where the arts and nature converge. Considering our mission to responsibly steward our grounds, our reliance on gas-powered trucks for park maintenance troubles us. By implementing the use of new quad cycles for trash and organic waste collection, our maintenance becomes fully human-powered. Using the quad cycle, our staff are able to collect up to 300 pounds of garbage in a single ride. We are the largest mid-sized compost processing place in Staten Island. We have a dance center, we have a music hall. There's culture and vibrancy in Staten Island that the larger 5 boroughs might not know about. It's a beautiful place to work every day, and I feel really lucky to have a work environment where you can step outside and be surrounded by beauty and history. We all see every day around us the changes that are happening in our climate, the power of the changes that each of us can make individually add up in our collective and have the ripple effect of a butterfly's wing that creates a tsunami of change. These are efforts that we're doing side by side to make our community a better place.
Since its inception in 1974, VIP has worked to foster self-sufficiency and to create a safe and thriving community in the Bronx and beyond. The organization, spearheaded by Father Robert Bonomi, was born out of inspiration and guided by the commitment of compassionate residents and community leaders. Our mission today is to provide comprehensive and equitable medical, behavioral health, housing, and wraparound services. We're leading the way in providing services in the emergency rooms where staff can link people to services in the communities in which they live. For the people who are seeking asylum, we are able to help them on a path so that they too can become part of this American culture. What keeps me going all the time is knowing that we are having such great impact on the lives of the people that we're touching. My hope for VIP is that we will expand our services and we will continue to fill the gaps so that healthcare will be available to every person, regardless of where they live or how they live.
Good evening. So, first of all, I have to congratulate all of the finalists in each category. It's because of each and every one of you that we're here today, and I know personally and on behalf of One Group, we feel very privileged to be a part of this and to just experience each and every what you do for your mission. So without further ado, I have to check and see who the winner is. And it is Hear Your Song. Come on up.
Thank you. This is incredible. I want to start out by thanking this incredible community of nonprofit leaders who lift each other up. 3 years ago, when Hear Your Song was just beginning as a nonprofit, Carrie Brody from Emma's Torch had a phone call with me and my co-founder where she laid out how to start a nonprofit, how to build a board, and it's all of that kind of shared resources that make the work that we do possible. We began as a college organization about a decade ago, but we only incorporated 3 years ago this past Saturday. Thank you. So it's wild that we're here. And just like the Imagine Awards takes toddler age organizations seriously, Hear Your Song takes the voices of kids and teens living with serious illnesses seriously too. And we love and cherish getting to uphold and celebrate the voices and the songs that these kids create. So we wanted to share a very brief snippet of one of them today. Lucas, a 15-year-old that we worked with last summer, who is a brain cancer survivor, wrote this beautiful song. He struggles to speak, but he was able to sing his words of inspiration. So Sophia, our amazing music director, is going to share just 4 lines of that beautiful chorus with you. Thank you so much.
Okay, this is a song about how I'm feeling right now. It goes, life is without true colors unless you smile. Trees are blossoming everywhere I go. I'm saying, smile, smile. That's how it goes. Thank you, Lucas.
Hey guys, don't forget your check. This is the real one. Congratulations, hear your song. Wonderful work. Next up, the Serini and Associates Social Impact Award, which recognizes the impact an organization has had from both a micro and a macro perspective. Micro meaning the impact on the people served, and macro meaning the impact on the overall community. Presenting the 2024 Social Impact Award is Serini and Associates Manager Manaz Cavalluzzi.
I'm Manaz Cavalluzzi, manager at Serini and Associates, and I'm excited to present the Serini and Associates LLP Social Impact Award. We work with over 300 nonprofit organizations and have a keen understanding of how important it is for nonprofits to operate with impact while delivering their essential services to the community. Nonprofits that operate with intent and focus on how they effectively accomplish their missions are the ones who prioritize capturing data and metrics to best guide their programming and campaigns. While monitoring facts and figures are essential to organizational effectiveness, these nonprofits have to be responsive to the evolving needs of those they serve, their donors, strategic partners, and governmental agencies. This award will be given to a nonprofit that measures success not just by meeting its mission, but by affecting the surrounding community. Impact goes beyond the number of children served, shelters provided, and mouths fed. Impact looks at how the organization impacted the New York City community as a whole and how the results have been measured. This year's finalists in the Serini and Associates Social Impact Award are being recognized because they have successfully leveraged their operations to create a lasting impression of social impact across the New York metro region. The finalists are Her Justice, Live On New York, Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers Foundation, WIN, Women in Need.
At Her Justice, we provide free legal help to women living in poverty in New York City. Through our Pro Bono First model, we train and mentor volunteer lawyers from over 100 law firms and corporations across the city each year. We partner these lawyers with clients who must use our civil justice system to access basic rights and can't afford to hire a lawyer. Working with us, they are on the front line of their case. People living in poverty are constantly being sent messages that they don't matter and that the systems don't really care about them. So to go through that powerful, intimidating system with a team of experts by your side and have that system respect you really is powerful for our clients. We also develop and advocate for policies that help make sure women like our clients get the fair outcomes they deserve and ultimately make New York City's civil justice system work better for everyone. One case that really comes to mind is the case of a woman who was seeking to get a divorce. Even though this man had committed atrocities against her and was serving time in prison for that, he had a right potentially to half of whatever they had as a married couple. She was able to keep all the things she'd worked so hard for, and she felt the power of the system believing in her and backing her up. The true measure of a city is how we take care of those most at risk. By helping women living in poverty, we're stabilizing communities, and by doing that, we help our city thrive.
Live On New York's an organization that champions a mission that touches the lives of countless individuals. At the front line of organ and tissue donation in the greater New York metro region, our staff work with 100 donor hospitals, 11 transplant centers, and all of the transplant programs in the United States to serve those in need. Any given day, we've got about 300 professionals who are working in the community. We're responsible for 13 million lives. We're helping to educate the public about donation. We're helping to get people to sign up to be donors for that person who may have a day or two or a week to live. who's got family around a bed somewhere in the United States praying that somebody steps up to save their life. And being able to give that back to them is an unbelievably righteous mission. From the gracious gifts of New Yorkers to those all around the country. There was a 30% increase in organ donation and a 28% increase in tissue donors. One organ donor can save 8 people's lives. One tissue donor can change the lives of up to 75 to 100 people. I believe that there's a day where we could see a zero wait list.
Firefighter Stephen Siller was just off duty when he heard about the attacks, turned around and headed to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel and ran over 2 miles to the South Tower of the World Trade Center to join the rest of Squad 1. The family of Stephen Siller knew that they had to do something to honor his memory and his legacy, and the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was born. When a first responder or military service member doesn't return home and leaves behind a young family, Tunnel to Towers is there to support them by paying off their mortgages and lifting their financial burdens. Through our Smart Home program, catastrophically injured veterans and first responders are able to regain their independence with a mortgage-free home, specifically adapted to meet their unique physical needs. In our first 9 months, we were able to help 500 veterans get off the streets. This year, the goal is 2,000. We're doing this not just in New York, but all over the country. Our key signature event right here in New York City is the Tunnel to Towers 5K annual run walk. Over 40,000 people run through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel this year. Immediately after you come out and you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you're met with 343 firemen, each one of them holding a placard of their fellow brother firefighters that are lost. That run isn't about tragedy, it's about love. The work we do now is about love.
We're in the worst homelessness crisis we've ever been in the city of New York, arguably the country, and it's only getting worse. The city of New York's doubled its homelessness system in less than a year. WIN's mission is to end homelessness for families with children in New York City. We serve 6,500 people a night, so we have a massive impact on that level in all 5 boroughs. We don't want to just provide people a bed at night. It's providing wraparound services, or what we call the way to win, which is that income building, computer literacy, college readiness, all these different programs that the city doesn't fund, that we fundraise on our own, that we think are really essential to support our families. But then also our policy work. Over the past 6 months, we've really gotten into trying to make that change at the state and national levels because they're all intersecting. Because of our size and the number of shelters that we have, we're able to see trends that are indicative of the larger system, but also larger issues in terms of what's going on nationally. I'm really excited that we're going to be opening in the next year or so the largest family supportive housing complex in the country. We want people to be in permanent, affordable homes. The more that we can support in increasing the city's housing stock is really where I hope we can really make a dent, as well as our national and state level policy. But we all see ourselves as sort of part of this bigger picture of helping break the cycle of homelessness for families.
It's bright up here. I'm Manos Cavalluzzi, manager at Serini & Associates, and I'm excited to announce the winner of the Serini & Associates Social Impact Award. But before I do that, I want to congratulate all of the finalists tonight. We're in a room full of winners, really, and the Imagine Awards highlights at least 24 nonprofit organizations each year, and it really brings awareness to a lot of causes and a lot of organizations maybe some of us haven't heard of before. So the winner of the Serini & Associates Social Impact Award is Live On New York.
Wow, hey everybody. First of all, thank you to the New York City Imagine Awards for bringing together the fabric of New York City. These 24 organizations, I wish we could cut this up into 24 little pieces. We won't. But just listening tonight, as a born and raised New Yorker, makes me so proud to be sitting in a room with the pulse that makes this city really beat. So thank you to New York City Imagine Awards for doing that. To Ken and the Serenity Group, thank you for sponsoring this. Live on New York just has the unbelievable privilege and honor of meeting with families and donors and people at the end of their life in the darkest moment when they make a decision to save the lives of people that they'll never meet. People across the transplant wait list, all across the United States. We've got 350 staff members who work with them to make that happen, and I'll just simply accept this on behalf of all of the organ and tissue donor heroes who gave the most precious gift of life that a human being could give to another person. Thank you for this. We appreciate it.
I know you're all expecting Sonia back up here, but nope, it's me. So I just want to, before I go on with the rest, I just want to thank Sonia for everything you did. She was an awesome MC, wasn't she? Let's give a big round of applause to all of tonight's winners and finalists. And to all our generous sponsors. And especially to all of you who have made tonight such a magical night. Before we go, it's time for the best part of the evening, the blooper reel. We can guarantee as we went through creating the 24 videos, there were a lot of bloopers and mistakes and everything. I'm sure that most of them were mine. Actually, I think they're going to show the beginning part of my presentation. And then after the outtakes, I would like one representative from each of the winning organizations to come up here on stage so we can take a photo so we can get that out for media and additional publicity for all of you. And don't forget, we have the room till 10 o'clock. You don't have to go running out like those people just did. Stick around with us, and let's go to the videotape.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
Let's go for it.
Let's rock and roll.
Can I do a practice run?
I can do a blooper for you.
You're gonna have plenty of bloopers, that's for sure.
I think some of that was for the blooper reel.
Darn, the blooper reel, I forgot.
I look forward to being messed with. Here we go.
Bring it on.
Bloopers, take 4.
Start cursing. Okay.
How comfortable are you with me ad-libbing?
It went pretty good. I felt like I stumbled a little bit.
Okay, I stumbled a little bit there.
Had a little stumble. I'll definitely have a little stumble in the middle.
I made a flub there.
Okay, I had one little flub.
I messed up.
It's me. I screwed up. I was gonna say.
Can you back it up a little bit?
We peek through the lenses of Harlem. Stop.
Oranges, but
the fellowship into the published. Oh, yeah, that was a wash.
From the young, bleh, that's not good.
Managing Dorado. So, what do I do?
That will have
to help it.
That didn't make sense.
I had a little tongue twister there.
I told you I'm gonna make like 1,000 mistakes. For ongoing, going up. Sorry about that.
Outcomes for our individual. Sorry. See, I knew I was going to mess up eventually.
I think I'm reading it wrong.
I can't read.
You sound like you know how to read.
Oh, awesome. Good. 28. And she can read. That's good.
There's over 15,000 students. Oh, sorry. Darn it. Sorry. Take 3, 4, 5. No, I'm going to get it.
Don't worry, we'll nail it.
We'll get past this. I swear we'll get past this.
I need to cough.
Wait. Bless you.
Well, how was the pace? Too fast, too slow?
Do you have any thoughts, posture?
I think you take a breath also between.
Oh, okay. I'm getting a note.
It actually ends on the one before that, I think.
So I understand the question, but can you cue me up again? I apologize.
Should we maybe do one more? So I have to do it again. You got to pay me this time.
Not to torture you, but do you want to do it again?
Torture me.
Ooh, this is tough.
Okay.
Wait, she walked off. It's like, what happened there?
I don't want to start rambling.
I had a little bit of a brain freeze there. So I'm gonna need my phone real quick.
There's stuff that you might see. Oh, sorry. These determine.
Somebody needs to turn my phone off. I am gonna kill whoever that is. I have no mercy.
We break it, we broke it.
Does my hair look crazy from the rain?
Do I look funny? Do I look like Chuck Schumer with glasses on?
I feel like I sounded a little bit like a robot, but it's okay.
When I'm hearing myself, I'm hearing it like,
I'm ready for a drink.
My hands are sweating.
I'm not sweating though, right? I feel like I'm sweating.
I'm a little nervous for some reason.
I'm so emotional, God. I get too emotional. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Why did my contact just come out?
We heard this before, the vibration.
It's back. I could literally stick my hand in my eye, no problem.
There were Legos all over my floor.
I believe a small family of mice once made their home in the sofa.
I'm still thinking of dead cats, though.
Can we scratch that answer?
Shake it out.
That's like the hardest part. Not be so like stiff.
10 years in government, you know, you can stand up, wind me up, and I can talk.
I can, as you can gather, talk about this stuff all day.
I'm a ham. I love the camera.
This was Sienna for the Children's Museum of the Arts.
Broadway!
That's so cool.
It's hard to smile. This is work.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty damn funny.
Could we be done? No.